Hi guys, I am back with page 3 of my little Branson mini album kit here, and I'm taking this piece of bag. I tried to punch it with my border punch and it punched okay, but I was really struggling with that border punch because the paper is pretty thin. So what I ended up deciding doing is just to glue this down with some of this wet glue here. This is a Zig pen. It's got like a broad tip on it, and I'm just putting a bunch of glue on this and then just gluing this down to the page. And what I'm going to end up doing is, because this brown is pretty prominent, there you go, it's a Zig two-way glue. Because this brown is pretty prominent, I didn't want it to be so bold on the page. I'm going to take some gesso. There you go, the Liquitex gesso, and then put that down. I'm just going to smear it around with my finger, and then it's going to be a little bit opaque, so I'm going to end up taking a baby wipe and then wiping a lot of it off just to get some of the whiteness to not be so white. I wanted to be able to see some of the paper, and this baby wipe works perfectly, and so it's just a really nice subtle texture below, but it still shows the brown bag, which I really think is pretty cool. So I'm just going to use my heat gun here because I did add quite a bit, and then when you heat it up too, it also makes that Liquitex gesso look a little less opaque as well. So I really like how that's turned out, and I'm just going to use this as the background piece to start mounting my photos on. So I'm going to trim that out because I had a little excess on the page. And I love these Tim Holtz scissors. They work so well. So if you guys ever are looking for some scissors, I absolutely love these. So this is a picture of my mom and my daughter, and I want to apologize here because some of my video got corrupted, and you're going to see me putting these pictures down, and then I'm going to add some embellishing to the left of the bottom photo that I'm going to be adding, and it's going to cut out, so you'll just see kind of the end result. But first I'm going to take some of these inklings that I got from Shimmers in a blue and a green color, and I just showed you the colors there. I am going to take the packaging technique and I'm going to smush them all over this page because I just really wanted a very light shimmery watercolor look to this. So you're going to see here how that's going to end up looking. And I splattered around and I use the packaging technique and I just kind of get it all over until I am happy with what it looks like. And I just really like how this looks, especially with that brown bag in the background. I thought it looked like a neat texture. So I'm just going to play here until I get it to look the way I want. And there's the green. I'm going to wipe up some of the blue and then put some of the green down. And I think the combination of colors looks really good with the pages and the colors I'm using in this collection. So I'm just going to sop some of that up, and then I'm going to start getting these photos down, and I'm going to mount the photos on some cardstock, I believe, as well. And I don't know if I mentioned this in my earlier video, but the nice thing about those pictures that come on the zip printer, those photos are actually sticky back, so I just have to remove a backing and then I can add it to the mat or the paper or the cardstock without having to actually use adhesive. And that's another plus when you're out on the road if you're taking this with you. With it being a sticky back, you don't have to use a lot of adhesive to get those photos down. So here's where that one part of the file got corrupted, so I apologize, but I basically fussy cut those ice cream cones out. There was a stamp set from Scraptastic that had all the pieces separately, so I just stamped them in different colors and then fussy cut them out and then added them to that bottom photo because it's a picture of my daughter and my mom eating some ice cream and looking silly. And those little beavers and squirrels and bears and stuff were adorable, and they came on the paper pad, and that owl as well. So I fussy cut all those little critters out, and you know, it's basically my daughter's holding a stuffed animal that she bought with her own money, and my mom and my daughter are milking a cow, a pretend cow in the top picture, and I thought that was funny because their butts are all hanging out because they're bending over feeding the cow, or milking the cow, I'm sorry. So anyway, I just glued those little critters down. I thought they were adorable, and I would normally pop them up, but this journal is getting pretty chunky, so I didn't want to add any extra dimension to them. But I thought they were floating, so I'm ending up taking this Stampin' Up marker. It is like a Copic marker, an alcohol marker, and I am just adding a little bit of brown, kind of like ground, to those little critters, so they don't look like they're floating quite so much. So I think they look a little bit better once I do that. And then I'm going to take a gray Bic marker. That's basically like another alcohol or an inexpensive, cheaper marker. Oh, before I did that, I did some journaling. But I'm going to take this marker here, this gray marker, and I'm going to add a little bit of shading and shadowing around these ice cream cones. They looked a bit bare, and hindsight, I wish I would have done this before I put them down because I was getting a little bit of the gray on the stamped images themselves, but you know, it's okay. This is probably not one of my favorite pages. I do really like that brown paper bag, but it's just, I don't know, it wasn't one of my favorite, but you know, that's okay. Not all of the pages can be your favorite. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Stay tuned for all the close-ups at the end, and I will talk to you guys again soon. Bye.